Hi there, how you doing? My name's Matt, and this, coming up, there you go, is, believe it or not, a bunch of maps of Glasgow. So we've been spending this weekend using the open data to analyse areas of major health issues within Glasgow, using multiple factors, mental health in particular. So we've used these different maps to identify areas that need have issues that need addressed within the Glasgow effect. For example, let's take Joe. Joe's in his late 40s, and Joe lives in an area of Glasgow called Milton. Now, as you can see, Milton, up the top north of Glasgow, is one of the most deprived in terms of mental health areas in Glasgow. So he also suffers from a stress disorder. So he goes to his local stress centre. And when he's there, he gets referred to a new partnership with a project called the Dream Machine. The Dream Machine provides a space to relax, play, and create. Using sensory immersion experiences, it enhances the mental well-being of both the individual, the group in the session, and the wider community. But what is a sensory immersion experience? A sensory immersion experience invites you to step into an interactive sound and light bubble, so to speak. A virtual world that might interact with you in surprising ways. Together with the people in the session, you will embark on a collaborative journey. To give you an example, your common plant might happen to trigger a sound, which in turn might happen to trigger a change in the visual environment. So in doing so, these hidden interactions help create your own environment collectively. Before this hackathon, and when the preliminary ideas, we decided to trial a one-off kind of art install with something along this line, very basic in a big boggin basement somewhere. But even from that trial, we found out some really interesting reactions.
Glasgow people, living our age, we don't ever get the opportunity to let go.
I just wanted to start a big yoga class with everybody, and I felt like we would all do the moves and nobody would have to even be told what they were doing.
At one point I just started buzzing around my head, like kind of thing.
It was sort of an instant kind of feeling of, togetherness.
Flying is what I felt. I felt I was flying, and I've never felt that.
So these effects really catalysed us into coming here and using the data sets to really put some arms and legs onto this idea. And using these data sets, we've identified not only just a need for increased mental health services, but also increased mental health innovation, new solutions to age-old problems, the Glasgow effect. So in our research this weekend, we've discovered, one study we researched was based in Massachusetts. This study looked into the effects of multisensory rooms in this setting within a psychiatric unit. Now, within that unit, you can see there's some amazing illuminating results. For example, 98% of the participants recorded a positive result. So from this research, from the open data and our own research, we've identified some target audiences that we might be able to develop and use this product for, the Dream Machine. So we've looked at its effectiveness in treating everything from chronic pain all the way up to dementia patients. So, using the maps, we've identified not only the needs, but the services, using the stars and the spaces to point out the fact that although services exist, they're not connected, and the Dream Machine can connect these dots, can help to connect these dots. So within our first 6 months, we intend to have 3 permanent installs across Glasgow. Within our first year, we intend to have a central hub to provide relaxation, play, and creativity for the artists and for the participants. Within our second year, we hope to have a mobile unit outreach program that can reach across the breadth of Scotland to isolated communities. So with the right funding, our machine no longer will be a dream, but can take the first steps to becoming a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Dream Machine.
Hi, Matt.
Hi.
Matt, one of the issues with mental health is the indifference or reticence for people to face up to that and to seek help for it. And there's already a stigma associated with seeking help, particularly for men in Scotland, men everywhere, possibly, but certainly men in the West Coast of Scotland. How are you going to appeal to Joe Fay Milton to take this on board, where he will already probably struggle to go to his GP? There'll be a stigma associated not just with seeking help, but for something which could be potentially perceived as a bit arty-farty. How are you going to reach those people?
Absolutely. What's really interesting, particularly in Glasgow, we have this thick, we have this strong back. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. So how do we break that down? And what's interesting about the Dream Machine is it doesn't necessarily advertise itself as a therapy. I'm fine. Joe thinks he's fine half the time. We all think we're fine, but quite often we're not. We all are prone to bouts of short-term mental health issues. So with that in mind, the Dream Machine is not necessarily a therapy. It is a community space where the art is brought back to the heart of the community. Art is no longer in the galleries, it is in the heart of the community, and it is community art. It's community generated and community led art, and it's the therapy doesn't come from the word therapy. It's not me or anybody else going in and saying to somebody, I'm going to fix you. It's somebody coming to us just to have fun, like our motto says, to relax first of all, then to play, then to create, and that is the true therapeutic power of the arts. So yeah.
I just wondered what kind of venue or space you could give as an example of.
What kind of
venue or space? Because you're talking about.
Yeah. What's really good about the Dream Machine is it's entirely flexible. We can literally go into any space, indoor or out, and transform a room like this into an immersive experience with the right technology. And so the idea isn't necessarily to have a stationary space that is set up X, Y, and Z using X, Y, and Z technology. Instead, it is to have a flexible toolbox where we can go into any space and transform the unexpected into the interactions.
I had one thing I'd like to add to that. So we've evaluated the idea of creating partnerships with different charities so that we have, both the resources that Matt has with music and arts, and also combining that with the therapeutic services offered by different mental health charities.
Yeah, so how does it become sustainable? What's the business model?
Sustainability comes from a regeneration model from the community-led. So the people who the Dream Machine serves are the people who fund the Dream Machine. We also would have a commercial and a corporate arm providing, let's say, relaxation classes for the corporate bodies, but also the people who use this service will be paying a donation into the service.
Okay, thank you, Dream Machine. Okay, so now we are going to hear from We Group, and then we will hear from